God parts hit more this time around. Little cutie, look at that. Purple Perilla by Kan Shui, modernist Chinese writer. Needed a slim, like, weekend read, because I had, like, an all-dayer, all-nighter. Like, I started the day at 6 a.m. and ended it the next day at 6 a.m. So this fit in my little bag, and yeah, finished it within the day. Good read. A collection of 3 short stories about rural China. Who is this for? This is for people who enjoy a touch of mysticism, yet fully immersed in realism, and enjoy Raymond Carver. Yes, if you want to be submerged into something light, something woodsy, this is perfect for you. By Isolari Books, a press based out of Italy that does these like magnificent, beautifully designed, tiny books. Yeah, check them out. Yes. Some other updates, some reading updates. We are, where are we? Why am I holding it like this? We are page 69 of Franny and Zooey. We just finished Franny's part and we're a bit past the Zoe part. We just finished the letter that he gets from Buddy, and we're kind of in the argument that he's in with his mom, which he calls her by her first name, Bessie. What does it feel like reading this after so many years? Feels good. We are dealing with God, authority, the difference between mysticism and actual religion, and you see a recurring theme here, this mysticism. Yeah, really into it for some reason. Not because I miss church or anything, but that's where I'm at, I guess. Thoroughly enjoying it. It seems to have less dialogue than I imagined. I thought it was more dialogue. It is dialogue heavy, but it's not dialogue so much, but more monologue-y is what I want to say. Yeah, definitely a lot more monologues. And then my loan just came up for, I forgot the title, The 90s by Douglas Coupland. I have not read a Douglas Coupland book in wait, no, oh my god, it is not by Douglas Coupland, is it? It's by Chuck Klosterman. What is it? Sex, Drugs, and Cocoa Puffs is the last Klosterman book I read. Douglas Coupland is mentioned in this book, that's why. Sorry. Thoroughly enjoying it. What I'm realizing so far, reading into it, is that every generation is the same. History repeats itself, whether you like it or not. Sort of filling in the gaps of what life when I was literally an embryo. So it's very interesting stuff. That's as far as book updates go. Yeah, I'll probably get through Franny and Zooey over the weekend maybe, and kind of slow into mid-90s because it's a lot to process and a lot to think about. There's also a lot of cultural references that I'm not very familiar with. For the most part am, but for the things I'm not, you do that thing where you go into like a Google black hole and links upon links and hyperlinks on hyperlinks, and it becomes this mess. Yeah. Hello. Do we need an outfit of the day check? It's a bit nippy out, so got this light wool blazer, check, a little nylon shirt, plain white tee, and some jeans. And the bag of the day is our Uniqlo U Lemaire bag. Yeah, how is this? Is this fine? Is this effortless? Got some errands to run today. I'm gonna do a bit of reading, writing, and I think I'm meeting someone for a drink. Not sure. Let's go. Normally I don't film in public, but there's nobody here. It's kind of weird. A robot just made my coffee. Like, what? Yeah. Hi, I just got back from Seoul and I am so gross and I'm probably going to wear this tomorrow. Why am I admitting all of this? Anyway, yeah, I had a very nice solo day in Seoul. Mostly just to run errands, but got the chance to go to 2 art exhibits. The first one was a couple of artists, Kim Arun, Namino. Oh, 2 artists, which was about mapping, gentleness, decoding, ways of navigation in terms of lost love. I think it was quite vague in my opinion, but definitely beautiful. Yeah, it's just way too vague in order to make anything out, to the point where almost you can put in your own set of ideas and values to whatever it means for you. But I mean, it came with this cool poster. I don't know if you can properly see it, but I'm gonna hang this up. I guess that was the most or best thing I've got out of the exhibit. And then I went all the way over to Haramdong for constellations. I always pass by this gallery, but I like never go in. Also mostly because I don't know how to get in, and I just learned today there's like this little alleyway that you have to go in. But Constellation by Lee Do-hyun and Mo-hee. Yeah, it was this gorgeous choreographed dance performance about the consumption of technology done in private and how there are these unseen movements of the body that we don't really look at when we're on technology all the time. I will say, if I'm to leave commentary on Korea and technology, is that most of the time people will just stare at their screen and walk through the streets. I guess this is quite common in America too, I guess, but it's more so in Korea, to the point where even at like crosswalks, there's lights that will shine on the sidewalk to alert people that the light is green and that they can walk. I've had my fair share of running into people who were on their phones and didn't look up and are like flabbergasted that I bumped into them while I'm walking because they didn't look up. Terrible. But anyway, yeah, the choreographed dances were with imagined phones in their hands and headphones and such, and I thought it was really beautiful. Just the amount of attention to the hand movements and all. It was almost like incredibly intimate, just the gestures that we have when we're so connected to our phones. I thought that was wonderful. Mostly wanted to do a video because we finished Franny and Zooey. As good as it was when I did my reread, whenever I did it, the God parts hit more this time around, I guess, because sort of I'm sitting well in my position growing up as a Catholic. Just what does God mean, and the presence of God, the importance of religion, mysticism versus religion, the practice of it all, the ritual of it all, how it applies to our daily life. I think this reading meant a lot more to me this time around because I just finished Sheila Heti's Pure Color, and that one is definitely about like the divine being and what is controlled and what do you control. Yeah, when Zooey goes on his tirade on Franny and makes her cry because she doesn't understand God is incredible. And I totally forget the ending of the book where he does this little thing for Franny, and he does it with good heart. But yeah, I don't know. I just love this book. It just, if you're struggling with, you know, growing up with God and not really believing him in him anymore, this is for you. And also if you have like fights with siblings, this is good. I was surprised I finished this actually. I'd give myself another day to finish it, but yeah, we're done. And now I'm just gonna turn all my attention to, as if you can see, but, oh, that's Instagram. Yeah, because I use Instagram on my iPad. We are reading The 90s by Chuck Klosterman. I am learning a lot. I just got done with a chapter about Nirvana and Kurt Cobain. The whole like rejection of the 80s or the death of the 80s. And did anyone know that Tupac and Notorious Big died around the same time Kurt Cobain did? Yet there was like not a lot of media coverage on it because they're black and Kurt Cobain is white. And even though all of these news outlets like hated Kurt Cobain, they'd rather idolize a dead white guy than these two phenomenal black artists that sold way more records than Cobain did. And did anyone know that grunge came out of Seattle? I had no idea. And I'm also learning that in 1990, Iraq evaded Kuwait because Iraq didn't want to pay back a loan that they mandatorily took from Kuwait. Sort of the beginnings and roots of 9/11. I had no idea this happened. I don't think I learned it in American US history, like in high school at all. But yeah, I am learning a lot. He covers, I mean, Chuck has always been this great cultural enthusiast about life and pop culture. And in the 90s, he covers everything. He goes into film, he goes into music, he goes into politics, he goes into everything. Yeah, phenomenal. I'm only 18%, which is page 71 out of 370. This is a big book. I'm gonna try and crunch through this. But yeah, learning a lot. I spent way too much money today. I went to this bookstore near the art gallery with the dance performances. I say that as if it was live, but it was just video. I picked up this collection of books. I saw this before, but I didn't pick it up because like, this is 3 books in one, and I must show you, and I have to take off the shrink wrap, but it's Soft Spot by James Taylor Foster and OKRM, published in 2020, edition of 1000. That's why I wanted to pick it up, because I knew if I didn't see it again, I'd regret it. Enclosed are 3 variations of the same book. Keep one and gift the others as you wish. Definitely not gonna gift them, because I'm selfish. 3 different books here. Yet they all kind of do the same thing. I'm just gonna show you one of them. But it's words, images, text about life, essentially. Weather by, oh gosh, what's her name? Weather was mentioned, the roots of ASMR, basically all of these current things that speak to now. Current art and current culture and speaking to now, if that makes sense. What I think I'm going to do is if I ever take a big trip, I'm gonna take one book and just read through it because it's like the perfect headspace wanderer. If like you need something that you don't necessarily want to invest in, but also kind of do, and also spark conversation. And like my big thing whenever I come back home for a trip, like LA, I see all my friends, right? This is something like this is great because, you know, topics of discussion, minus all the catching up that we usually have to do. I'll bring this with me when I travel, and it's fairly quick read. Like, I crunched through a bunch of pages while I was in the bookstore. Post Poetics, favorite bookstore in Hanamdong, if anybody was curious. If I ever finish it way too quickly, I'll gift it to my friend, like that. And then I'll do the same with these. I come, I go, I read, and I upcycle the book to someone else. That's what I'm trying to say. I just finished Severance. Wild, absolutely wild. Brutalist corporate nightmare with like cerebral anxieties, major surprises in every episode. I think first episode is kind of meh, and then second episode is like, okay, you're invested, and then third episode is like, what the hell is going on? And yeah, it's crazy.
I'm leaving you with the voiceover because we lost some footage through some malfunctions, but be well, do good work, and keep in touch. And let me know what you're reading. Bye!